Hello everybody. Sorry for no upload yesterday. I used to make Toko's phone in for repairs and it turns out his charger port was not charger port, audio port was entirely broken. So he won't be able to record till he gets a new phone, so you're going to be seeing a lot of my voice. Because you can't see my actual face. Because privacy. Yes. Where was I? Okay. Asher Walker. You commented. Not even gonna look at it. Not even gonna look at it. Asher Walker. You commented on the last video. And I said Shuna X Naruto. I was really hoping you said Sheena. You know, like Shion, because Shion is yes, but fine, Shuna. Okay, so Ifrit attack. As Shizu's walking out of the village, she falls to her knees. She screams, and the three adventurers are trying to help her as her mask cracks and a red light shines out. Ifrit escapes. Ifrit begins burning the woodhouses down, and Naruto and rimuru are pissed. Jesus. If I swipe it, I might get another Facebook reply. Jesus. Ah, fuck it, who cares? It's not my face, so. Okay, so. Yes, rimuru and Naruto are pissed. Like, we just made these houses not even a month ago. And this fiery asshole is burning it all down. What rimuru does is he copy transfers his fire resistance skill onto Naruto and says, "Hey Naruto, he can't touch you." Naruto asks, "What do you mean?" He's a fire elemental. I just gave you fire resistance." Naruto smiles and says, "Great." As he hits his hands together, Rimuru says, "I'll take care of the main guy. I'll take care of the main guy. You take care of any stragglers." As the three fire guys are summoned, Naruto begins flying. And he 1-2s the first one. But let's say he had his like hand pointed out towards, he didn't have a closed fist, and he was just stabbing him with his claws. He takes care of one of them as Rimuru goes into goblin mode and starts walking towards Ifrit. Let's say his goblin mode has red eyes. He walks up to Ifrit and looks at him, dead in the eyes. As Rimuru says, "You caused her way too much suffering." And in a flash, he uses black lightning to enhance his speed and grabs Ifrit by the throat and puts him on his knees. Ifrit's trying to remove the grip of the goblin Rimuru, but Ifrit's not strong enough. He tries burning his arm off, but fire resistance prevents that from happening. God. As he squeezes Ifrit's throat, Rimuru looks over at Naruto. Naruto looks over at Rimuru, realizing Rimuru was pissed from the start. He wasn't pissed about the house either. As he quickly finishes up the last fire elemental, as Rimuru completely consumes Ifrit and says, "You will suffer." Let's say instead of being sent to Valdora with his powers, he was sent to Valdora without his powers. Yes. And then Rimuru transforms back into his slime form and goes over to help Shizu. Hyper brings Shizu to the bedroom where she's resting. As Shizu tells Rimuru her story, Rimuru cries, shedding a tear, as she says, as they go on the whole spiel. I don't remember the exact words, so I can't reenact it. But she asks that Rimuru consumes her. As he does, he continues to cry in his new human form. As Naruto walks in, realizing what's happened, he hugs Rimuru. They have their brotherly moment. Naruto begins to cry, realizing this is what happened to him and Hinata. Yes. And then the three adventurers walk in, and they ask if they can see Shizu's. They have the frame reconvene his Shizu form. He does. He does so. And Rimuru goes into a Shizue form. They hug him, and they go on the whole Shizui. I'm sorry, we couldn't help you. And then they leave with the new armor they got from Kaiji. Rimuru says, "Is there any way for us to use metal and build our houses, Naruto?" Naruto replies, "There's no metal release in my skill set. We'll have to construct them using brick." "Is there any stone release then?" He says, "Yes, there is stone release. Or earth release." He says, "Great, we can use that to make bricks and or concrete." Naruto says, "Okay." As Rimuru copies the earth style, or earth nature chakra, and then while he's in there, he realizes Naruto has something like he's never seen him use: Byakugan. He copies this while he's at it, and then tries it out. He tries it out and realizes he has a 360-degree view in his human form too. He says this might even be more overpowered than magic sense. But as he's in his form, his eyes start to hurt, and the Byakugan turns into the Tenseigan. Rimuru says, "What is this?" As Great Sage says, the unique skill Byakugan is now transforming into the what's the word? Into the legendary skill Tenseigan. Yes, Tenseigan, legendary skill. A legendary skill can only be wielded by one person every 1,000 years. Actually, only one person every 100,000 years. Because that makes it much better. Because I'm pretty sure some of the demon lords have lived for way longer than that. Rimuru reads the definition of a legendary skill and says, "What do you mean? Nobody's ever had this skill in 100,000 years." Great Sage replies with, "This skill is something that your brother Naruto had brought over from his last life. He does not know of its creation, but due to world information captivation, we were able to dig up information on said artifact, Tenseigan." "So you're saying that Naruto didn't even know this could happen?" "No, he was not aware of the evolution of the Byakugan." Rimuru accepts this and says, "Well, I'll tell him about it later." As he says this, Ryu walks in and asks if they will be eating with him tonight. He says, "No, it's a waste. I can taste the food." As he realizes his new body is equipped with taste buds, he face palms and says, "Rigard, I'm eating with you guys tonight and every other night." Garrett says, "Oh, of course, my lord," as he tells Rimuru that he will be making a grand feast. Yes, he does that. I think I'm gonna do something I'm really, really happy with myself for. It just popped into my head. I've been playing a lot of video games, RPGs recently, and yes, I'm doing this. I don't care what anybody says. This is the moment of the ogre attack. So instead of being at the cave testing out his black fire skill, never mind. I know what I'm doing. Okay, so Reamer is in the cave testing out his degenerate skill. He tests the black flame skill, but before he gets the alert from Ranga, let's say it's about a half an hour before they actually come in contact with the ogres. So Reamer's not getting the alert yet because nothing's happened. Reamer is exploring the cave as he comes across the place where Valdor was sealed. As he realizes there's a cave behind Valdor. I've never seen that before. Let's say that it recently collapsed in, so now the entrance disappeared. Rimuru explores the cave. As he walks in, he sees a sword and a stone. It's a light blue stone that reminds him of ice. As he touches it, as he gets his fingers close, an electric current, a small static shock, is between him and his fingers and the blade handle. As he grabs the handle, he yanks it out of the stone, and it's a sword, a light blue sword with a rose on its hilt. This is the Blue Rose Sword, a legendary blade that cannot be broken, and it enhances your magical capabilities. I know it's from Sword Art Online, but still, this is like, I love this, and I have a bunch of moves for this. So, because Reamer realizes this sword is much farther beyond the capabilities of his current blade, he puts it on his back. Yes. He puts it on his back. As he gets the alert from Ranga, he runs. He running. Yeah. Yeah, he runs. He runs as he arrives at the ogre attack. Let's say that Konoha Tempest was with him. So Konoha and Ranga are fighting the ogres. But Naruto got the signal too, so he's there as well. Rimuru tells Ranga to round up the hunting party and take them back to the village. Naruto tells Konoha to do the same, and then Rimuru says, Naruto, you think you can take care of the pink one? She's casting magic. Naruto says understood. As he activates... Who's Mangekyo? I don't know let's say he uses Madara's Rinnegan, Eternal Mangekyo. I'm not exactly sure what his Madara's ability with his Rinnegan is, but I'm gonna say that it's no, I don't. I'm not gonna actually no. Let's say he uses. Let's say he uses 3 Tamili Sharingan, along with Wind Nature Chakra, to make like wind barriers to block her magic. So yeah, as he's blocking her magic with the Wind Nature Chakra, what do I want him to do? Let's say Rimuru starts fighting. Including her, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. There were 6 against 1, so it's a 5 against 1 fight. So he uses his speed to use Paralyzation Breath on the large gray ogre. I forget his name. And then as Shion swings her Morning Star at his head, he uses body armor and blocks it as he snaps the Morning Star with his hand. He grabs her hand and then puts his arms around her waist and tilts her head back and says, you're not gonna win this fight. As she tries to headbutt him, he dodges and ties her up with sticky steel thread. Who is next? As Zoe tries to stab him in the back. Zoe already knows about body armor, so let's say Tensegon. He uses Tensegon and he sees it, and he does an uppercut, and he uppercuts him. As Tensegon is activated, the old man tries to cut off his arm. The old man goes swinging as Rimuru grabs his blade with 2 fingers. The old man's eyes widen. As Rimuru lets go with his blade, the old man jumps back. He says, and Rimuru starts to speak. What do you want from us? We will not allow you to destroy our village again. Destroy our village. The ogre starts to say, destroy your village? You were the ones who destroyed our village, you evil Majin. Rimuru gets confused and says, Majin? I don't know who the hell you think you're talking to, or because I am no Majin. The ogre says, blasphemy, you wear the same mask. Rimuru says, for your information, this mask is a keepsake from a dear friend. The ogre says, none of your cheap lies will affect me. As he uses ogre flame, and the giant fire typhoon wraps around Rimuru, Rimuru walks out and says, I said, this is a keepsake. As Rimuru draws his blue rose, and says, let's see what you can do. As he points the blue rose in the air, and a giant typhoon of black flames that reaches up to the clouds appears. Shuna quickly realizes this and then Rimuru, no, let's say it's about as big. Let's say the fire is about as big as it would be in the actual anime. Then Rimuru removes his mask, and the fire goes up to the clouds. Then he says, "Do you still want to go?" The old man quickly says, "Boy, we must run." "The boy, you must run." He says, "Never, that would be dishonorable. I will destroy him. He slayed our clan." The old man says, This man is on par with Valdora the Storm Dragon, maybe even stronger. And the other one, all he's been doing so far is defending. He could have easily counterattacked us. I'm gonna have to end it here, guys. People are coming up, and I'm gonna end it once I finish the ogre attack. So, as that happens, they surrender as Rimuru lets them examine the mask. They realize quickly that they were attacking the wrong person, and Rimuru invites them to eat with them. They come, eat, and Rimuru proposes them. He gives them a name, an honor for that, and they help him defend. He helps them defend. Benimaru thinks about this for a while, and the next morning he accepts. As Rimuru begins, and your name is Black Cell. And let's say that Naruto, when Naruto was meeting Shuna, he looked at her and realized she was a bit uncomfortable talking to him like Hinata was. He smiles and says, "Well, hello." And they become decent friends in the 3 days Rimuru was out. Let's say that, yeah, that happened. Yes. Shuna is the shit for Naruto. Just saying. And that is going to be the end of this video. Goodbye. Like, subscribe, and keep it real.